Welcome everybody. Welcome to another successful story show. Today I have a lady from Tampa. Well, I don't really know if she's from Tampa, but I met her in Tampa. And she's amazing. She built a company that is now a company that is basically a global company because you can actually use her services from any part of the world at any time. So we're going to talk about that. But let me tell you more about my guest. She is the CEO and founder of the Epic LLC. And well, obviously, we're going to learn more about her today. Let me welcome her. Zahkia Morgan, welcome.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you so much for having
It's
me.
such a nice pleasure to see you again. I met you the first time in Tampa during our Women Business Expo, and you did fantastic. You were busy all day long, and I loved your pictures and everything. So tell us more about you, Sakia.
Well, I'm actually from Anchorage, Alaska, born and raised.
Wow.
I currently live in Georgia, Atlanta, Georgia. So when I came to Tampa, it was a nice little drive. I am a single mother with two kids, amazing teenagers. But my company is named Be Epic LLC. Um, and it's an amazing company. I stand for what our name is because I just love to explain and show people that you can be epic no matter where you're at in the world or no matter what you're doing in life, right?
I love it. Tell us more about the services. What is your company about? What do you do?
So pretty much, where our home base is in Georgia. We help other businesses scale their business. So our typical client is someone who's too busy to get on social media and post 3 times a day, right? Or they don't know how to do graphic designing, web designing. So we provide virtual assistants to business owners to help them in their business process, whether it's administrative services, customer agent services. We do a lot of collection agencies where we provide agents for them. Um, our goal, we help build business owners foundations so then that they understand that they don't have to pay so much for to build their team. We offer a low rate that services everyone around the world that if you buy coffee every day, you can afford our services.
Wow. Okay, that's definitely a win. Win service. I love it. Not just because it's a service that is needed, but it's also a service that I believe after the pandemic had, a pickup in the industry. Before that, probably people are still, going to the traditional way to do business. It was
Right.
more like going to the office to work. But now a lot of companies are going remote. As a matter of fact, they still have the company in the building, but they don't go there anymore.
Right.
People is working from home now. And thanks to, well, I would say thanks to the pandemic, because we saw other opportunities, uh, even though we had a tragedy during that time. But it
Right.
also, for several companies like your business, it was a very good opportunity to start promoting the virtual concept, right? And what I love about your company is that it's really virtual because you can have clients from any part of the world, any part of the US. So
Mhm.
that's why I said, wow, I met you in Tampa, but you live in Atlanta and you were born in Alaska. That's the
Yep.
beauty of what globalization.
Right. That's real global.
I love it. So in terms of services, you help companies with collection. That's kind of important, right? I heard about this industry that's a very good industry. But tell me, when did you started your company? Was before or after the pandemic, and why?
So I actually started in 2020 of this year, or no, 2020, August of 2020. I started it because I had my own collection agency and it was so hard. Like you said, during the pandemic, it was so hard to get people to come to work. And I was like, I can't, it's so hard to get people to show up for interviews, to come to work. Of course, because the pandemic made it hard for people to come anywhere. So I had a virtual assistant at the time. She was helping me with like admin stuff, processing payments. And we're like, well, if we can do this for ourselves and it's very successful, we can do this for everyone else too. So in 2020, we launched Epic Assistance, which is part of the Epic, where I provide assistance to other business owners. And really it was for me. I started Be Epic just for myself. And then once I realized that it's really going good, it has a huge impact on having staff because my staff were on time. They came to work every day. And even though they worked from home, it gave them something to do, even during the pandemic. So when we started it, providing it to other people, it just blew up because like you said, everyone works from home now, and finding a real reliable staff, whether it's somebody to post on your social media or answer the phones for you, we provided a solution for that, and it's been amazing.
And not just a solution, but also an affordable solution. We
Exactly.
definitely need to talk after this interview because here in the chamber, we're a trade center. So we have an office, we have the co-working concept. We provide also virtual services, but not the virtual assistant. We do virtual offices. So that's a little bit different because we have a physical presence for companies. So that
Right.
would be, a perfect match because companies that have the virtual office with us, they are looking all the time for, what other service they can get, like a virtual assistant or maybe the collection. So there is something, I see a lot of synergy in these two services. And definitely we're going to be talking about how we can join forces because
Oh
the
yeah.
idea is to provide all the possible service and to be the one-stop shop for all our members and non-members, especially in today's economy. Everything is so expensive.
It is.
There's a lot of competition out there. So we have to see how we can help entrepreneurs to make it, affordable and easy to get the services they need. They don't need to have a big overhead now with the virtual concept. And that's the beauty of this industry.
Right.
And it's growing every time more and more and more. Several times we thought about the chamber, like why we have all these offices, a big office, big space. The majority are more virtual. They are not coming too often. But it's hard to make that decision, like, okay, no more office and we're going to work from home. But, we're here for a reason. And the reason is that we want to be the hub for a lot of businesses like your business that can help actually other companies as well. But I'm very happy to meet you, Zahkia, not just because of the type of business you do, but also the personality you have. You're very charismatic, very happy, and I can tell that you enjoy what you do. You mentioned at the beginning of the interview that you are a single mom. Tell us how challenging it is for you to be a single mom. Uh, Tell us that story, that the background behind, the success you have right now with your company.
Well, now, I mean, being a single mom already is a full-time job. It's really hard, especially when you don't have the, support and the structure that you need. I always had this, I want my own company. When I was working in the corporate world, I worked for the state of Alaska for the judges for 10 years. So doing that, it was like a blanket to have when I had my kids because it's like I had something to rely on. But calling in saying, hey, I need time off to go to my kid's football game, it became very challenging and it started to put a tear and a wear on me. So that's why I started my own company. And I found it more easier being virtually and having a company that I can do at home and still make sure dinner's done and making sure that the kids get to where they need to go. Because then I had my assistant who's like, okay, you have this bills due. Make sure you do this. It was like my assistant was my partner.
Yeah, especially now that we are living in an environment where everything is so, I don't know, aggressive. People is
Right,
aggressive, very sensitive. So you want to be watching your kids all the time and make sure that they are, they have a good advice from you all the time and you
right,
can
right.
supervise them. But it's funny that you mentioned Alaska because from Alaska you moved to Atlanta, and that's a big change in terms of weather. So tell me, how was that to grow up in Alaska? How is there?
I actually drove here, by the way. Living in Alaska, I mean, I love my home. It is amazing. It's beautiful. But I had already exceeded all the opportunities I could there because we only have so much there. Not too much happens in Alaska unless you're getting ready to retire. But I wasn't ready to retire. I was ready to keep thriving in what I was doing already. So Living in Alaska, it was cold, of course. You get negative 30 degrees. You get
How is the summer?
the
How
summer is
hot is the
warm.
summer?
We get a warm summer. We have all the seasons. Our winters are super harsh. So, but we still got up, went to work. We didn't have snow days like how in the States, if you have a snow day, they shut everything down. We didn't
Oh,
have.
wow. So in the summertime, is it true that it's for 6 months, sun all day?
So we
You
get
don't die?
sunlight. It's like 23, usually between 20 to 23 hours of nothing but sunlight in the summertime. So it's light all the time. And in the winter, it's the opposite. That's like the depressing times. It's dark all the time. It gets dark quicker. So
Wow.
you kind of mentally have to know how to deal with Alaska.
Yeah, I'm sure it's a big change for somebody that wants to move to Alaska. And I was listening the news yesterday, if I'm not mistaken, and there was a comparison table in prices with
Mhm.
Florida and Alaska, and the
Right.
prices there are so expensive. Like you can get a piece of meat for $40, which
Mhm.
here probably would cost you, I don't know, 10. Is that
Right.
true? It's very
Yeah, the
expensive.
cost of living is really high. You have to think everything gets shipped to us, right? And you have to go through Canada just to get to Alaska when it's driving wise. So it just takes a little longer for us to get our things. So they mark the value of everything up a little higher.
Wow, wow. Someday I want to visit Alaska. Someday,
You have
maybe
to. You have
summertime.
to. It's in the summertime. It's beautiful. You'll love it.
Oh, beautiful. And well, you moved to Atlanta, then you decided to start this company. Uh, how good are you doing with your company? What is your vision? Where do you want to go? What is the plan for your company?
So the company is doing amazing. I am impacting so many people's lives. I have so many people that come to me and they're been my clients for the last 3, 4 years, and I've seen their business go from literally from zero all the way up to 100. Meaning they were only doing $100 a month, and now they're up to 300,000 a month just because of our productivity of making sure that they're staying present online, making sure that we're doing good lead generation. So we're already literally all over the world. We service people in Texas, we've serviced people in Florida. We have so many clients who are at different levels and steps of their business. And they're doing amazing. So my goal is just to keep going. I want to be able to have clients literally in every business, every state, in the United States or out of the country. I have clients in the Philippines. I have clients in Kenya. I have clients in Jamaica. So it's my only goal in praying for Be Epic is to show the world that you can be epic and do anything that you possibly want to do when it comes to your business, and not have to dwell on, oh, I can't do this, or I can't afford it, or I don't know anything about social media, or just having any negative thoughts about business.
Exactly. No, and now especially in social media, there's a lot of time consuming, and you need
Mhm.
to know what you're doing. It's not just about posting a picture, it's about creating engagement and specific strategies. I agree with you 100%. Zakia, I love what you do. Definitely is one of my passions, the global concept, and I can see that you're visionary. I hope you can join us in October for our annual convention
I will be
gonna take
there.
place in Las Vegas. You have to be there. We're gonna actually nominate your name to receive an award.
I'm excited for
You
it.
deserve it. I see how well you're doing, how successful you are. But especially it's a recognition because we want to empower women in business like you that is helping the community with services that are actually are affordable and help to solve problems as a
Right,
solution for the business. So I'm
right.
very happy about that. Anything else that you would like to share with the audience? What tips would you advise other women like you to start it that are thinking to start a business, how they can expand, how they can grow, or much better, how they can save money?
So my advice that I struggled with, even just being a single mom and having a business, is staying consistent. Like even if you just do one small thing per day, stay consistent. Consistency, you may feel like you're dwelling or you're stuck and you just can't get your business further, But the moment that you stay consistent and putting yourself in your business every single day, I promise you'll get there. There's been so many times I failed. I failed so many times before I even got to the point where I'm at today. And taking your failures and turning them into learning lessons helps a lot. Don't stop. Don't give up. I also fast a lot. My fasting consists of spiritual, it consists of my business. So I fast for my business. So I take away things that I feel are going to distract me from my daily activities, and I put my business into it. And I felt like, through the years in business, fasting has put me in a position to where I may be doing 50 a K a month. And then after my fast, now I'm at 100K. So fasting is important. And my last thing I would say is always check off your list. I always keep lists of everything to do, and I always check off. There are people like my companies who help you save money to create graphics. Like today, for example, I do a $5 Friday flyers, and it's not for the money. It's to show people that it doesn't cost a lot to promote your business. It doesn't cost a lot to create a graphic design for you to push your business. You can use that same graphic for a whole month and be okay and get clients, right? So finding virtual assistants, I'm always gonna, advocate for it because it's changed my life completely. And I see how it changes everybody else's life. And it's something that I wish more people would utilize, just because it is cost effective and it takes off that stress load. So
I love it. I love, Jonathan, you need to put in a reel all these tips, because this is important. Everything that you just said is kind of important, and we should, listen every day and repeat ourselves, and we change eventually. Today when I was driving to the office, I was listening a documentary. It was like those encouraging videos talking about the self-power and how you can educate your brain to do things that you don't want to do. But it's true, it's by repetition, and you have to, you educate your brain the same way you do exercises, to have, your body in a good condition. You have to also exercise your brain, but educating your brain and tell your brain, you're going to have this routine and you're going to do this because this is what I want. I don't want to waste time. And this video talks about the procrastination and then I'm going to do this later. But it educates your brain is another type of doing exercise that eventually is going to help you to succeed in whatever you want to achieve. Yep. So thank you so much, Zahkia. This was an amazing interview. This is just the beginning, because now I can see that we're going to be working for the long term.
Yes, I'm here forever.
I hope to see you in Las Vegas. Remember, everybody, we're going to have our annual Women in Business Convention, Las Vegas, Nevada, this upcoming October. 3 days of activities. We're going to have an amazing tour, because we're going to have a VIP limousine, and everybody's going to be, driving around, looking and visiting all the casinos in Las Vegas. We have networking events scheduled. Of course, the Business Expo, the Women Business Expo, full day of activities, conferences for 2 days. So you don't want to miss the opportunity to meet keynote speakers that Zahkia are going to be educating you a lot, because you need help. And the best way for you to find help is going to this event, because you're going to meet a lot of ladies, successful ladies, people from other countries, people from other cities like Zahkia, that she lives in Atlanta. She was born in Alaska, but I met her in Tampa. This is how it works. The network, it has to be like that. So don't miss this opportunity. Jonathan, please put on the credit the website where they can get more information. But for everybody, October 23 to 25 in Las Vegas, Nevada. Thank you so much, Zahkia. And this is just the beginning. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you so much for having me.